Good evening. Welcome back to Kevin Toll Reads. Today we have a book review of Judgment by John Sandford. This is my book here. This is book number 33 in the Lucas Davenport series. This was published in 2023. A little honesty here. I probably should have read the first two books in the Letty Davenport series before I read this one. Not that you have to, but because there's one little cameo of Letty, a phone call, really. Probably a paragraph or a page is written about this, but she's at the Department of Homeland Security. She's graduated from Sandford, so I'm going to jump to these two books next before I go on to Toxic Prey, which is book 34 in the Lucas Davenport series, and that way, the overall arching chronological order will be cohesive. Now, this is to say, I should have been reading, as I would have been progressing through the Lucas Davenport books, the Virgil Flower books in between them, because that would keep the timelines, because they're all merged. They're all part of the Sandford universe type thing, but I'll go back and catch up on the Flowers ones. That's not a big deal to me. So the summary of this plot really revolves around a federal judge named Alex Sand from the St. Paul Twin Cities areas. He is murdered at his home with his two young sons. His wife wasn't there. Her name is Cooper Sand. This rocks the St. Paul area. Obviously, it's a high-profile case. You have probably a very short list of people that might hold a grudge against this judge based on verdicts and whatnot. He also has ties, because they're very wealthy, to Home Street, which is this housing charity in the St. Paul area. And so there's a lot of different motives or plot threads that could be part of this. And the local police and the FBI are getting nowhere. And so who do you call? You call Lucas and Virgil. So the BCA and the U.S. Marshal's Office tag team once again. And all while this is going on, you start learning about Cooper Sand and her on and off again friend that may be more than a friend, and you figure out how unhinged Cooper Sand is. And so how does that play into this? So that's kind of the premise of this thing. Usually I would say this is where I'm going to get into spoilers, but I'm really not. There's not going to be spoilers here. What I enjoyed, Lucas and Virgil, the A-team, the duo, they do a good job. I like the camaraderie. They're making fun of Virgie, as they call him now. And he's writing book 2 of his novel, and they're giving him crap about that here and there. Lucas is driving a Porsche hybrid. Like, come on, Lucas, really? There's a couple sections where weather plays kind of a role a little bit. I mentioned Letty in the phone call. They bounce an idea off him, Lucas and Virgil. Other than that, that's what I liked. I mean, the premise of the story was good. It had my attention. There are quite a bit of things I disliked, and I'll get into those in a minute. In terms of excerpts, I really couldn't quote a lot here. Some of the stuff I really enjoyed was kind of crude, and there's some swearing and some crude humor that I really can't, But there was one part I will share, like when they were making fun of Virgil. At various times he was taking notes for his novel. And there's one part where they were talking about, Lucas was like, yeah, you got to love authors with their word-a-day calendar, when Virgil was using, these big fancy words, and I thought that was pretty funny. In terms of dislikes, the story, like I said, it's very ambiguous. The motive really never fleshes itself out, or is even vaguely kind of hinted at to let you figure out as a reader. And that kind of left me with a sour taste in my mouth a little bit. There's not a lot of action. This is more definitely a character study and a who-why kind of thing. The writing was fine. I didn't think it was fluffed or over-embellished. It was a typical Sandford length, and it had the typical kind of things that Sandford does. I listened to the book, obviously, because I don't have a physical copy of it. So this is the first book that we don't have Richard Ferrone. And so Richard Ferrone's been doing the Lucas Davenport books since Rules of Prey, book 1. So this was different. And this book came out in 2023. As I mentioned, Richard Ferrone passed in 2022. Really missed him as a narrator. So yeah, that was kind of a letdown. In terms of rating, I give this a 3.9. It's a good story. I'm glad. It's definitely a downturn from where we were in the previous couple entries. I really enjoyed those. And so that's what I gotta say. I mean, I'll leave it at that. If you read this book and you've enjoyed it, let me know. If you read this book and didn't enjoy it, drop me a comment. I don't think this dissuade. I mean, obviously not gonna dissuade me. I'm invested 33 books into the series. I'm gonna jump over and do the 2 Letty Davenport books next before I jump into the final current entry, which is Toxic Prey, that came out this year. So, and then I will jump back next year and work on the Virgil Flower books. There's like 12 or 13 of those. So anyways, that's a review. Judgement Prey by John Sandford, book number 33 in the Lucas Davenport series. I give this a 3.9. Hope you're having a great evening. I'll talk to you later.